I can do anything. It's quiet now, and I know deep down inside that something isn't right. I run. I'm running through the forest to the logging site. It's getting dark. The light seeps away as though there was millions of tiny punch holes in the sky through which it can escape. And the darkness starts to pour in. I know what I will see. I see bodies strewn across the ground, bloodied, maimed, with their limbs torn from destroyed torsos. I see some of them are still alive, still struggling for air, still trying to live. They're all trees, fallen trees, still alive and still struggling for air. I'm not alone. The monsters are coming. They have long skeletal arms, wrapped in glistening black intestines. Each arm has a wide, gaping mandible full of whirling blades. They snap at me blindly. I'm not alone. I can feel the forest by my side. Some of my new friends have horns, some have antlers. Their eyes shine in the dark and they are ready. They are furious. I can feel their ancient anger merge with mine. Owl ancient oaths. I invoke the moon. I spill blood. The spirits of the forest move, and I am with them, biting off heads and tearing off limbs. We are a nightmare come true. Then I wake up. I gasped and bolted upright. I was alone. The sun was setting, and in the deep red light, the room looked like it was bathed in blood. My pillow and duvet were on the ground, and I was sweating bullets. I looked at my legs. When did they become so hairy? I could have sworn I'd shaved them that morning. The wolf is coming out. Finally, after all this, the wolf's coming to play. I just want to stop for a minute and just look at the right corner of the screen, these blinking owls. Actually, there's three of them. There's one very, horned owl looking, in the top corner. I really like them. It's very atmospheric just seeing the eyes of the owl staring out. I like it. We will continue. I need to talk. It's a full moon. It's a full moon. We're playing a werewolf game. This is gonna be interesting. Let me have a quick look at my character sheet and just see how I'm doing. My spiritual is almost maxed. So we're going a very spiritual route. Stop the logging, hopefully without violence. Pursue to regain willpower. Find out what's happening to you. Pursue to regain willpower. Cornell is neutral. Olga is neutral. Press is friendly. Police sympathetic. The forest sympathetic. I don't remember who Pat is. German hacktivist and Cornell's friend. A small young woman dressed in black, disheveled, bleached out hair. Okay, that's Pat. I thought about going back to sleep. I couldn't. As I arrived in this village, I felt like I was falling down a rabbit hole. Or rather, a wolf's den. My dreams were getting more and more vivid, and I was scared. I needed to talk it over with someone I trusted. Hey, Anya was in from the start. I come here with Anya, and despite all the strange things I'd done, she still stuck with me. I messaged her, and she messaged me back. I'm on a walk. Come join me. The sun had just set, and the moon wasn't up yet. Oh, this is gonna go terribly. Oh shit, this is gonna go terribly. It's a full moon. I imagine Maya's gonna wolf out tonight. And we might end up, attacking Anya or something. The forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was somewhere there. We met near their shop in Beoiza. It's a characteristic enough point and easy to get to from anywhere in town. What is it? Anya asked. She looked worried. Something strange was happening to me. I know it sounds crazy, but I think something strange is happening to me. I'm scared, Anya. Is something strange happening? Oh, There is something strange happening, but I have no idea what it is. Even less than you. She frowned. Maybe we should go to your new friends, the activists. She smiled a little. They are weird. They must know something. She has the best ideas. I smiled. That's why I came to you. You have the best ideas. She smiled and started walking. Let's go. I'm sure they're not sleeping. Do you mind if I text Bartek? I promise I meet him tonight. I didn't mind. He soon joined us. We went to the activist camp. All together now. The camp had a different vibe than the logging site protests. There were more people there. I looked around, trying to take it all in. People in the camp seemed quite cheerful. Someone was singing. I heard 3 or 4 girls singing together in a unique Eastern European style called the White Voice. It's the most melodic, throaty growling I'd ever heard. I listened for a moment. I stopped and just got lost in the music for a long while. People were milling about, setting up camp, cooking, preparing posters. Everyone was busy. I have no idea what your plan is, said Bartek. You have my full support. I need to see Cornell. This Cornell's pretty helpful so far. Hello, I said as I approached. Cornell smiled at me. Hello, he said. What brings you here? I'm confused, man. I'm confused, I answered. Is it really true? I mean, all the stories I've heard connecting me and the forest. Cornell looked at me with those uncanny gray eyes. I could feel his tension lock on me. Yes, it's true, he said. And that's why we're here. Stop the government destroying the forest. To show that we don't agree and that we hope to make a difference. You will have your role to play. Will it work? I asked. I don't know. All I know is that it's worked before. It worked for Gandhi, it worked with segregation and apartheid in the end, it worked with communism. Well, let's see if it works with capitalism as well. Violence is not an option here. He smiled. You know quite well that anger doesn't really get shit done. Yeah, I knew that. Somehow being around him made me feel more relaxed. I know, you can count on me, I answered. I had a family debt to pay, and I couldn't be just an observer anymore. So, we may have a little citizen protest going on tonight, Cornell said. We'll need your support if we want to convince the others. They all wanted to do something that night. After a whole day's discussion, they were still divided on what to do. Oh! I support. Hey, it's the Ace-Art. Hey, thank you for the lurk. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay, Floof. But after a whole day's discussion, they were divided on what to do. Wait, oh, there's a follow, isn't it? Oh yeah, there was a follow. Thank you very much for the follow, Floof. I had the deciding vote. Olga's plan, Cornell's plan. Let's go for Cornell's plan. I've kind of just been following the more peaceful route this time. I'm trying to keep my rage in check. A little help from my friends. I voted for the peaceful protest, and soon we were on our way to the National Park headquarters and education center. We had some banners to install. Bartek hesitated for a long time, but he joined us in the end. I'm only coming because my dad is out tonight. He won't see me coming in late, he mumbled. Anya also tagged along. Oh, this is so exciting, Anya whispered. I've never done anything so illegal. Is it illegal? Is peaceful protesting illegal in Poland? As we were on our way, I realized that we followed the path only because of my vote. I made a difference. You're welcome. You give positive energy and vibes. Hey, that's the goal. I kind of like, I like the spooky and scary stuff, but you gotta keep it positive still. So the fact that I'm able to like give off the vibes that I try to give off while playing a game where I was literally talking about like torn up bodies, that is the goal. It's a It's a thin line to walk, but boy do I walk it. The name was historical. The name, like everything in Poland, was historical. Centuries ago, some king had his hunting lodge there. But now it was a mishmash of old and new buildings scattered around the park. Some were rough and bulky, made of stone and brick, while others were an extravaganza of wooden porches, lace-like shutters, and meticulously sculpted pillars. There was no one around, but the area was well lit. You need to be careful here. It wasn't your everyday act of vandalism. It was something bigger, more important, yes, but also more dangerous. Getting arrested in Poland didn't seem like a great way to start my visit. On the contrary, in fact, it could be the end to it. Suddenly I remember the church located just next to the palace park gate. I could feel its dark silhouette looming in the darkness. Waiting. We're ready. We're committing. They'd spent the whole day painting the sign on a length of material sewn together from what looked like old sheets that were various shades of grayish white. The dark green letters declared, "Wood is the enemy of the forest." "Where do we hang it?" asked Daniel, come equipped with climbing gear. Wood is the enemy of the forest. Who's wood? Cover the church. Remember the church near the entrance of the park? I gestured towards the gate. We could go there and hang the sign there. Drive the message home. He paused, looked at me doubtfully for a minute, and then smiled. That's bold. I like the way you think. Lisa cleared her throat. If you want to antagonize the whole village, then yeah, sure. That's the best way to do it. It doesn't matter, Olga said. Because hanging the banner is a waste of time. I looked at her. Here's what kind of advice she could offer us. I asked for her advice. Olga is cautious. So what could we do better the next time? I asked her for advice. We could vote for a plan as a chance to actually help the forest. Olga rolled her eyes. It's a great banner, and I'm sure it will look good on the pictures published by a number of independent political blogs. She looked at Cornell. But it's stuck so deep into the over-educated ecological dispute people won't get it. The loggers won't care. Cornell sighed and shook his head. Felt Lisa staring at me. Why are you here? Seriously? Lisa asked suddenly, and Cornell disappeared around the corner. The whole group was strained with hidden tensions. You know what? I have 3 willpower. I'm going to spend it. I'll focus on my feelings. Lisa is sympathetic. To protect the Puisha, I said after a while. I can't just stand by as the logging happens. I feel like the forest expects me to do something. And I needed to do something. Anything, to be honest, I explained. I mean, there's this energy in me. I just have to let it out sometimes. She smiled like she understood perfectly what I was talking about. Finally, we pulled the banner up. Ugh, my father would have a stroke when he sees this. Bartek let out a repressed laugh. It's an important message. Anya looked up with fire in her eyes. The world must know. I looked at the sign flying high over the park. I was proud of our work. When we finished, Cornell gathered us together. I was proud of what we'd accomplished, and I contributed to that. Whatever my family had done, I was starting to pay back the debt. Cornell reached for his bicycle. Let's go for a trip, he said, to remind ourselves what we're trying to protect. This is gonna go badly. I have a feeling. Gunshots in the woods! The woods were full of stars. We cycled in silence, enjoying the company of the forest as it enjoyed ours. At some point, a clearing opened up before us, surrounded by boulders placed in a circle. They looked relaxed. A soft breeze rustled in the trees, welcoming us. Anya chuckled. Ooh, this is exciting! Anya chuckled, and I relaxed. There's some kind of energy there, flowing around, trying to reach me. But it couldn't. Not without my permission. Anyone else feeling that as well? Do you guys feel that? I looked at my companions. Before anyone could answer, a loud sound tore through the silence. gunshot. Anya gasped, looking around, wide-eyed and terrified. The others tensed up. They didn't look concerned, just confused. We have to get out of here immediately. Bartek's whisper was frantic and scared. There's a hunting party out here. Cornell turned towards us, like he'd finally put something together. There was a rustle. I saw a bunch of men in camo, each of them with a rifle, coming towards us between the trees. Observed. I watched their angry steps and listened to the murmured curses. Something was strangely familiar. The man at the front looked exactly like an older version of Bartek. He weighed us up for a moment and then focused on Cornell. This area is closed for the night, the huntsman said in Polish. There was contempt in his voice. There's a hunt going on and y'all are trespassing. We have police officers here, so I would go home if I were you, unless you want to get arrested. But the forest tense up. The man was the one who was trespassing. Hey, forest friends, what do we do here? This man, I realized, was no one. He wasn't important here. What was important was the forest and what it needed. They cared about me and didn't want me to get hurt. There would be other knights and other people to fight. Right then I felt that it wanted me to leave. Oh! I ran, the air in my lungs boiling, my skin slick with sweat, and the darkness thick around me. Anya and Bartek were running just behind me, or so I hoped. Something was chasing us. We left the shouts and gunshots long behind us. We couldn't stop. Something was chasing us. Two silhouettes, one lean, the other bulky. I saw them in the corner of my eye as they leaped forward. First I thought they were people, but as they leaped they got longer, smaller. I couldn't see clearly. It was dark. Sweat was blinding me. They were hiding behind the trees. I heard howling and growling. I saw there were wolves chasing us. Run faster. Hoping that Bartek and Anya could run fast enough, I sped up, giving it everything I had. I ran like my life depended on it, and it did. Okay, if I'm being chased by wolves, I'm not gonna jump into bushes, because wolves have good sense of smell. They can probably find me. We're gonna fucking run. I heard panting and a snarl, and I doubled my efforts, but I wasn't fast enough. I heard panting and a snarl. I turned around. With the wolves, they looked at me. I felt strangely connected to them. I heard a rustle in the leaves, and there was a voice in my head. Hey, little Theruj. I knew that it was the Puisha. He was pleased with me. Also, that Theruj meant wisdom. We're the same, I realized with shock. You and I. The wolves dispersed, and then something happened. And I couldn't see clearly. And two people stepped out of the bushes. I knew both of them. Cornell? Wait, she has the right to know. Cornell grabbed Olga's arm. One of us is going to bite you. One of us is going to bite you, she said matter-of-factly. And then you will die, Cornell added. One way or another. It runs in your family. I closed my eyes. A series of wet cracks, like skin breaking, torn from within by muscles that suddenly grew, by bones rapidly getting longer, by fur and teeth and claws. I dared to look. I saw two 8-feet-tall monsters standing in front of me, on the narrow path in the forest. Fuck. That's the way you can respond to that. I managed to whisper, and then there was only pain. The pain was unbearable. Nothing in my life had prepared me for this. I'm fucking dying. Damn, this is violent. Blinded by the blood in my eyes, my shoulder and chest burning around the wound, I knew I was dying. lost in the woods, away from my family, such as it was. I only watched my life pumped out of my body in a crimson river. I collapsed. I stumbled. I fell. The forest caught my fall with a bed of moss and twigs. I stopped thrashing and a cold numbness engulfed me. I'm not going down that easily. I punched the earth trying to get some feeling in my hands. I gritted my teeth and tried to get up. I collapsed again. I felt so cold. Suddenly there was light. I looked up. The full moon. It looked different though. Luna in her full glory. The moon was a goddess and she noticed me. "Get up," she said. I got up. I get up. I feel good. I know that I shouldn't. Remember why? Don't care. Stretch. My muscles are sore and cramped, so I stretch like I've never stretched before. My arms are longer. My legs are stronger. My heart is pumping, and I feel like I spent my whole life packed into a box and finally been set free. My mind is clear. Clearer than it's ever been before. I see the world in sharp contrast of black and white, movement and stillness. I smell prey. I hear language in the hooting of owls, whistling of the wind and the snarling of wolves. I am what I was born to be. And I breathe. I feel my ribs and muscles move. The forest smells of blood, fear, and excitement. I'm happy. I laugh happily, and others' laughter joins me. We laugh and sing to the moon. Something stings me. I look around. The small, malformed creature pointing a stick at me. The stick blazes with fire, and there's another sting. The creature disgusts me. Its arms are too short, its legs bend the wrong way, covered with a tangled mass of dead plants and the skins of tortured animals. It reeks of things dark and slimy and decayed. Push it away. I push the creature away and it flies through the air, making funny noises. It hits a tree and stays there, pinned to a branch like a butterfly. My ears prick, and I hear more creatures running blindly through the bushes. I feel better. My leg no longer stings, and I feel better than ever before. Is this a dream? Maybe it's a dream, I think, as I move silently through the undergrowth. The creatures are running away. Their backs turned to me. They stumble and shout. Suddenly one of them turns my way. It is terrified. I'm just gonna roar and try and scare him off. I roar and the creature falls down and curls into a ball. It smells of ammonia. Piercing light burns my eye. The creatures surround me. They work like a pack. They're dangerous. I'm gonna run the fuck away. I'm too smart for such an ambush. I claw my way through the nearest creature and disappear among the trees. Their frustrated shouts make me laugh. New smell. The wind brings a new smell. The air tastes of fur and musk and blood. Shapes move among the trees, but they are no creatures. They are people, like me. Suddenly I'm surrounded by them. I think I know them. They seem familiar. It's like I met them in the past. They were hidden. Close in on me. What do they want? I wait. I relax and wait for them, unflinching. They approach me and sniff the air. Their smells are overwhelmingly familiar. Once people had sounds attached to them, but now I realize the sounds were not their true names. I look up and see no moon, only clouds and tangled branches. And something changes. Something changed and I realized how tired I was. I stumbled. Darkness. Nothing was okay. The night was full of stars, and I opened my eyes. Confused, I found the forest around me was thick and dark. The tree trunks, wrapped tightly in dark-leaved ivy, were covered in ripples of lichen where the vines hadn't taken hold. The thorny, leafless bushes at their base were overrun with nettles. The fungi radiated with a ghoulish, sickly green light. Dark, sponge-like mushrooms clung to the fallen trees. Something was wrong. I took the feeling that something wasn't right. I looked down and saw my hands covered in a dark substance. I was naked. A sticky, glistening film of liquid clinging to my skin. I feel it on my face, my hair, blood. It was a whisper. The word resonated in my head. Garu. This is a dream from the beginning, I'm pretty sure. I knew it was coming. I remembered my dream and slowly lifted my eyes. Severed head right in front of me. Felt sick. The face was contorted, the eyes bulging, the mouth open, the tongue stuck out. It was obscene. I doubled over, retching. I recognized that face. God. We killed Bartek! His face splattered with dried blood. There was so much of it. I couldn't see his freckles. The head watched me with reproach. Crumpled. I curled into a ball, sobbing quietly. The bushes rustled, and a moment later I saw Cornell coming out from between the trees. He looked at me, at the head, my face. He came closer and squatted beside me. This is what we were trying to tell you. His gray eyes smiled. See, you're a werewolf. I looked at him. I blinked. Everything faded to black.